BBC Radio Leeds. A big day because a rather special cafe will be serving its first teas and coffees in Leeds today. The charity Sunshine and Smiles, which supports young people with Down syndrome, is opening 21 Co in Headingley. It'll be staffed by youngsters with Downs. Ailith Harley Roberts is from the charity. Her 8-year-old daughter Talia has Down syndrome. I'm delighted to say that Ailith on a big day is live with you on BBC Radio Leeds this morning. Hi Ailith.
Good morning.
Lovely to hear you. Tell me a bit more about 21 Co. What a day.
Oh, an amazing day. We're absolutely delighted and slightly terrified all at the same time. So 21 Co is a gallery and coffee shop in the middle of Headingley, which is amazing. It happened after we did a little pop-up further up the road in Headingley last year, and we'll be serving, as you say, teas and coffees, and we've got lots of beautiful work from local makers as well, so artists and potters and sculptors.
Very nice. So the cafe will be open to absolutely everyone, but it'll be staffed, and I think this is the really interesting thing, by young people with Down syndrome. Do I understand that correctly?
That's absolutely correct. So the reason that we did the pop-up was to trial running a cafe and working with young people with Down syndrome and offering them training and work experience. So there's a team of 7 young people with Down syndrome who will be working in the cafe and supported by members of staff and volunteers from the Sunshine and Smiles team.
And it's personal for you. Tell me about your daughter Talia. How I mentioned she's 8, so probably a little young to be staffing the cafe, I'm thinking.
Probably a little young, although she would love to. So Talia's 8. She goes to her local primary school and she loves all things dance, music, water, swimming. And I think from a personal point of view, when Talia was born, one of the most important things for us was wanting to make sure that we did everything that we could to support her to fulfil her fullest potential and to give her every opportunity. And I think that's what 21 Co is about. It's about creating opportunities, it's about raising awareness, and it's about hopefully making connections with a wider community. And so hopefully other businesses, other local organisations think, we could support a young person.
I think it's a brilliant message, and it's right there. I mean, goodness me, you're in, I think they've rebranded it as Headingley Central or something now, but it's the Arndale Centre in Headingley. So you're right in the centre of things. And absolutely. I think actually seeing young people with Down syndrome there running somewhere, that's very significant, I think. It's not something you see, is it?
No, and I think that's one of the other things, we'd love for it just to be something that is ordinary, that it is commonplace, and people don't think, oh, that's amazing, that it's just accepted that, that's how life is, that everybody has those opportunities.
And why the name, Ailith, 21 Co?
So, Down syndrome is a genetic condition, and it is created by having 3 copies of chromosome 21. So you'll find that lots of things related to Sunshine and Smiles have either 21 or 3 in them or both, and World Down Syndrome Day is always celebrated on the 21st of March.
Well, it's a lovely reason, a good name, and a good sort of name that gets people like me asking the question. So you're in Headingley, it's a gallery and it's a coffee shop as well.
Yeah, that's right.
If somebody fancies coming along, they can just turn up, can they?
That's right. So we're open, initially we're going to be open 4 days a week, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Just pop along. We'd be delighted to serve you a tea or a coffee and some of our delicious cake.
Wonderful. And I'm delighted to see as well a real range of local businesses, charities, business people individually have given you support, haven't they?
We've had absolutely phenomenal support. So the conversation started with members from Headingley Development Trust and then with Schroders Real Estate Investment Trust, who own Headingley Central. And then we've had an overwhelming amount of support from people like St Chad's Parish Fund, Wade's Charities, the George Martin Trust, as you say, local business people. And I haven't mentioned, half the people that have supported us, and also just the local community. We've been setting up for the last couple of weeks. We had a preview evening with some of the young people and just the support and warmth and generosity has been amazing.
Well, I think it's inspiring. I really do. I hope it goes brilliantly. And I know you're going to come and see us in a few weeks' time and let us know how it all goes. So
with some of the guys from the team, so they can tell you about how it is for them. And
brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, Ailith, real pleasure to speak to you. I hope it goes absolutely fantastically today.
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ailith Harley-Roberts from the charity Sunshine and Smiles, and well, we wish them well. 21 opening today, Headingley in Leeds, in the Ardale Centre, or Headingley Central as it now is.